All right, Sagittarius, welcome to your June 2024 tarot reading. It's Raina here, fellow Sun and Sag. And so I'm a little bit more excited because it's my sign to see what cards I draw for us. I'm just going to go like this. This is about as good as it gets. Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay, and I'm going to pick an additional card too. Okay. Alrighty then. So, I'm not one of those people that say, oh, the death card, oh, that's something to fear, because it's really, the death card can easily be symbolic. It also connects with the sign of Scorpio, and it's all about transformation more than anything else. But yeah, I mean, the Ten of Pentacles, that can be an inheritance. So, I mean, sometimes, death and inheritance certainly goes together. So I can't totally pretend that those two cards couldn't mean something like that. But I'm going to interpret it in different ways. So the heart of the matter is the Eight of Pentacles. Oh my gosh. I had to cough. It was for just like bizarre. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. But back in the day when I first started 9 years ago, I had like a little handheld, I mean, not handheld, but like a video cam. And you couldn't pause it. So if I coughed, it was like on the tape. So this is way better. But anyway, the Eight of Pentacles has different interpretations. One of them can be that you are doing some kind of work, almost like you're in training, an apprenticeship, so that you can get really good at what you're doing, or that you are in that place where you're just kind of flowing in, you're doing your top notch work. But sometimes it can be that even if you've made a decision to leave your current position, that you're not going to mail it in. You're going to, until you leave that place, you're going to do a good job. It can be about doing a really good job. Um, Sometimes in relationship issues, I see it as somebody who is like they're trying to do their best as if they're responsible for the relationship. So sometimes I get the vibe that it's, in relationships that the person's trying too hard. They're trying to be perfect. They're trying to do everything right. Putting too much effort that is one-sided. It's a great money card in general, and certainly we have our ruler going into a new sign. This happened a few days ago. I'm recording this on the last day of May, so that can be that might be really activating Sagittarians in terms of their ability to attract money to them in general, especially like larger sums of money. Well, I mean, I'm thinking more of myself because I have Jupiter transiting my second house. So if you are somebody with Taurus rising as a sun in Sagittarius, you're going to have this in your second house, and that will be, or even if you have it in your eighth house, Jupiter transiting your eighth house. I mean, that could be like inheritance in particular. In the past position is the Devil card. So what this can be is, where people, like, if this is about work related matters, being too attached to the material rewards of im- your work rather than whether or not you really love what you're doing, and also whether or not what you feel what you're doing is adding value to the world. Or if you think, or even if you feel conflicted, like that you think that what you're doing could be immoral, even if it's not illegal, it could be immoral. This is something that Sages can grapple with if they're really engaged in life from a philosophical perspective, which I think a lot of Sages are. I mean, that's kind of sort of what we're all about. So that might be something that you're really dealing with. Um, and the Eight of Pentacles can indicate that money is good. So the Devil card can also mean maybe you escaped a situation that was much more of a negative one. And in terms of the love life, if this is more related to your love life, when I see the devil is connected to Capricorn. When I see the devil, I often think of a narcissist. And so if you've been trying to please somebody and they're never satisfied, you might be dealing with a narcissist who's always keeping you on your toes by making you feel like, and it's really you buying into it, it's not, nobody can make you feel it, but you feel like you missed the mark, like you're not good enough. The higher message is the Death card, which means that something might be coming to an end. So whether this is a relationship that is toxic, whether this is a uh, a type of work that you're doing that is no longer feeling aligned, then this could be something that is coming about. I also believe too that the some Sages, you might be transitioning into a new form of employment, or the type of work that you're doing, and maybe you have to really see it. Maybe you're kind of like still in denial over, and you're like, hey, yeah, this is what I'm all about. And maybe you're, even when I said apprenticeship, maybe you're training for something that really isn't for you, because you're still in that mode of like, oh, this pays so much money and I really want this. And it's all good, because you will get to the finish line, and you will come to a sense of understanding this, if that is truly the case. It just may take a while to get there. And same thing with relationships. It's like, as long, I will say though that with either one of these scenarios, whether this is your love life or your profession, if it's something that is truly um, not good for you, then it would be wise to kind of admit that to yourself, so that you can move on, and that you don't prolong something that is not good. What crosses you is the knight of cups. In the upright position, or if I read this as just in a regular sense, this would be an offer of love. This would be something very romantic and positive when it comes to your love life. I'm reading this more in the reversed way. So there may be someone in your life who um, has it could be a water sign, so maybe it is a Scorpio person, but the other water signs are Cancer and Pisces. And you know, I don't know if this is specifically a sign like Pisces, but I could see it being that particular sign. But in any case, if you are involved with someone who is, maybe they're a narcissist, but they're a covert narc. There's somebody who is very, they always have problems. Maybe they have an addiction, alcoholism. The cups that can relate to water, the water element, but also liquids, alcohol, addiction of some sort. And they are, uh, emotionally, maybe they're manipulative. They guilt you into you staying because, and you're trying so hard to make it work. The death card is saying, it's all over but the shouting. And so trying to salvage something that is really, on its way out can be problematic. And what's coming in is the Ten of Pentacles. This can be a card of big money. Like I said, whether it's an inheritance, whether you're attracting a situation to you that is very good for earning potential. Now, based on some of these other cards, um, I because I feel like money is something that is around Sagittarius in June. That, an increase in money. The problem is that some people think the only way they can get it is through um, staying with something that has proven to be the case, that is a sure bet. But there are different ways that people attract money to them. The Ten of Pentacles can be family money. Now, the reason I said inheritance is because of the death card, but if we look at that as, some possible different scenario, it could be family money. Maybe you get some money from your family regardless, and they're alive and well. If this is something that you are, when I said you're training for something with the Eight of Pentacles, to me, it's more like um, maybe you believe in yourself. You believe you have that sense that, you're meant to do something and you're going after it. And to me, that is, I'm not saying that in June you're necessarily going to reap this money, but maybe you're going in the right direction. The outcome card that I got was a Ten of Swords. I mean, what am I saying? The Queen of Swords. And the reason I picked an additional card is because to me, the Queen of Swords is a rather anticlimactic card. It basically is saying that you have to put your feelings aside, not put your humanity aside, but you have to, what will happen, or what could happen, is that you might have to make a choice in June, and your emotions may get stirred up, whatever this choice is. Now, because it's below the death card, you may have to possibly end something. Maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a job, maybe it is an attitude. Maybe it has nothing to do with any specific situation, but a way that you have been thinking that has informed your choices, Sag. And basically, this could mean that you have to see what emotions come up for you around the issue of ending something. Do you get afraid? Does the idea of leaving a relationship, bring up fear for you? And if so, why? These are things that are not easily talked about in a very brief video, but you know what I'm talking about. So I picked an additional card to get more of a feel for this, and I got the Six of Wands, and this is a card of that's connected to Leo. So there is a possibility that this may have something to do with timing issues of like when things are really heating up, and the 6 of Wands is connected to Leo, fellow fire energy. So maybe in August, um, the new moon in Leo, that this will really kind of come out for you, and you'll be able to see exactly what this choice is that you have to make. But the other thing that this card represents is receiving recognition, taking your bow. This is a card of success. And it can really point to, like, for instance, if you have to make a decision about whether to stay in a relationship or on a job. I got this card in the exact same position for another sign. And basically, it really boils down to, are you being given enough recognition so that you feel that, and I don't mean in an egoic sense, but you really feel that you're being treated with respect, that people, you're not being taken advantage of, taken for granted, or anything like that, because that can really point to, um, that kind of thing. So that should be able to tell you whether you're in the right relationship, whether you're in the right job, and then you can make choices much easier. So that's what I have for you, Sag. I hope that this resonated. If you would like a private reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.